Just 3 minutes ago, devastating news details about Dusty Hill have once again shaken the music world and left fans of ZZ Top grieving anew. Because even though his passing in 2021 was already one of the most heartbreaking moments in rock history, the recent revelations surrounding his final days and the legacy he left behind paint an even more tragic and emotional picture of a man whose bass lines, voice, and quiet presence helped define the sound of a generation. Dusty, often seen as the most understated member of the band, alongside Billy Gibbons and Frank Beard, was in truth the glue that held ZZ Top together for over 5 decades, his deep, soulful playing and gravelly vocals giving the group a unique depth that set them apart from every other blues rock outfit. Yet what fans are now learning is how much he suffered in silence, battling health issues for years while still pushing himself to perform on stage, honoring his commitment to music and to the millions who adored him. The shocking details reveal that even as his body began to fail him, Dusty refused to slow down, insisting on touring and recording, telling those close to him that music was not just his career, but his very reason for living, a devotion that may have cost him precious time with his family and, ultimately, his health. His passing at 72 stunned the world, but now reports indicate that Dusty had left behind instructions to his bandmates to continue ZZ Top without him. A selfless final act that broke hearts and inspired respect, showing that even in his last days he thought of the fans first and the music above all. The devastating news also highlights how deeply his loss has continued to affect Billy Gibbons, who admitted in interviews that standing on stage without Dusty by his side feels like losing half of himself, and Frank Beard, who quietly grieved for the friend who shared not just the stage, but a lifetime of brotherhood. Beyond the band, Dusty's death left a void in rock music itself, because while guitarists often get the glory, he proved that the bass could be just as powerful, just as memorable, and just as vital to a band's identity. And his work continues to influence countless musicians across genres. The new details also shed light on his private struggles, his long fight with hip problems, his increasing physical pain, and his quiet acceptance that the end was near, all of which he bore with a stoicism that only adds to the heartbreak. For fans, the idea that Dusty Hill endured so much behind the scenes while giving so much joy on stage is almost unbearable. A reminder that the performers we idolize are human beings carrying burdens we rarely see. The devastating truth is that Dusty Hill gave everything he had to music, and in doing so, he left behind a legacy that can never be replaced, but at the cost of his own health and peace. And so, as new details emerge, fans are left not only mourning the man, but also reflecting on the sacrifices he made to keep the spirit of ZZ Top alive. Sacrifices that turned him into a legend, but also hastened his departure from this world. Dusty Hill's story is now etched in history as both an inspiration and a tragedy, a tale of devotion, resilience, and loss that ensures he will forever be remembered not just as a bassist, but as the heart of a band and the soul of a generation.